Hello, hello. Greetings of peace, love, and happiness, everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to another powerful podcast, about the power within that makes you so unique, so unstoppable, so unbeatable that you realize that you can do things that you never ever imagined you could. So it's all about unleashing that inner strength that you have within you and using it not only for yourself but also for the sake of humanitarianism. That's what our podcasts are about, and we bring on the show people who, yes, like our very wonderful resilient ambassador. She is the resilience, she's the epitome of resilience. Whenever I look at her, the way she has maneuvered her life, the way she's navigated her life so beautifully despite the challenges. And I think that's what makes a person so unique. And so we will be talking a lot about resilience as a powerful tool towards holistic wellness, and also how you can use it to bring out the power within. But first of all, let's say a big, big hello and a big, big welcome to my lovely friend, Martie. Hi, Martie.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. It's such a pleasure always communicating with you and sharing my life story. It's just awesome. It's an awesome experience to be able to connect to someone way across the pond, way in another continent, and still feel like we met in person, but still we have that connection
Yes.
of sisterhood, of wanting to make this world a little
It was
better.
so good to meet you in person, and that was fantastic. And we
Yes.
never knew that this bond will grow so deep at that point
No.
of time. At that point of time, it was like, okay, we're meeting. Hi, hello. But, this is that connect. This is that
Very
connect about the power within. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. So let's come straight to the point. You
okay.
are the resilience ambassador, the epitome of resilience. Now, I know how your life has been. You have shared it in our other shows. But what exactly, some people don't really know what resilience is and how it can be actually useful for holistic mental wellness. So, what exactly is resilience? From the
Resilience.
resilience ambassador herself.
To me, it was something I discovered after 60 years. I had no idea that was within me. And so the first thing I need to say, it's a power within you that needs to be uh, honed, sharpened, developed, practiced, and eventually you realize it's the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's the ability to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving, keep going, and keep flowing. But it's very important that you take a look at yourself first. If you don't look at yourself, then you don't know where your resilience is. You don't even know, you might not even be aware that it exists in you, because it's something that's deep inside of you. And until you start seeing the power of it and discovering that it's a thing, an essence in every one of us, but we have to develop it. We have to surround ourselves with the right environment of people that eventually, and that's what happened to me, eventually you start believing that they're telling you, hey, look at you, you survived, you overcame, you surpassed, you're still getting it. Yes, you've had numerous surgeries. Yes, you were called a mistake. Yes, you were in the Air Force and you got hurt and you were in a wheelchair and you're walking and all that. So it's like, it's just a barrage of uh, incredible ability to discover that you have something within you that can go to town and get you through many things.
Wow. Amazing. I guess that's what it is, one's ability to handle adversity and how you react to it. Also, your reactions also matter. So, some people would just, normally what happens is that if they face failure after failure, and I've seen this happen to many good people, people who on the face of it seem very strong, but when they got failure after failure after failure, successive, it happened two, three, four times in a row. They just completely lost it. And they couldn't handle that pressure. So,
Mhm.
how does resilience make one handle that pressure, handle that failure? What is it that suddenly surges to the surface and says, "Okay, when the going gets tough, buddy, the tough get going."
It sounds so simple to explain, but really and truly, it's a chore. It's homework daily. It's a practice that you have to use whether you need it or not. And the difference that I finally discovered of that me being resilient was definitely within me. I say that once I took a look at myself, once I started seeing those things that we call fail are repetitive patterns of our limiting beliefs. We
Hmm.
easily give in and cave into fear, which derives into doubt, which derives into self-sabotage, and everything just starts climbing and exaggerating the one little thing that didn't work because maybe you didn't look at it from a different perspective to see how you could probably would have improved it. So it's like a photographer. You take a picture and you look at it from different angles and you find the best way to get through. And then you develop that ability to bounce back and say, okay, I can't go this way, but I can go around it. I can find help. I can do something. So I think that's the thing that holds us from believing in ourselves when we don't know that we have all these repetitive patterns that keep us in that failure state, that we once we fail one time, see, we convince ourselves, we justify, okay, I can't, and we give up, and that's a sad way to be because we miss out on so many gifts and blessings because of it.
Actually, you're so right, because many times what happens is we do not believe that we're able to do something or achieve something on our own. We actually start seeking validation here, there, everywhere. And I think that also somehow, pushes our setbacks to, to limits where we feel that now we cannot really do anything for ourselves. Life is very, very difficult. I am a complete no good person and I cannot just handle it. So I think, it again boils down to the us. What do you
Mhm.
have to say? It's all about us. We need to believe in our inner power. We need to set boundaries. We need to make people respect us. And we can only do that when we first respect ourselves. So I would
Right.
like you to add more to this.
So we establish limits, and if we don't know how to establish limits, that's why we keep stumbling over our own things. And if we're so quick to please the world, we lose the ability to please ourselves. So it sounds arrogant at first when you've been brought up into saying no, it's all about serving the world. But you can't serve anybody else in this world if you don't know how to serve yourself. So everything that you apply to others, and there's people with great intentions, and I see it all day long, but they don't believe in themselves. They just want to give and give and give. Well, eventually when you give, you drain yourself and you're not your best friend. Because you've depleted that supply of joy, of wanting to grow, of wanting to develop, because you gave it all away and you didn't think of yourself first. You have to think of yourself. This is when it's not arrogance, it's not selfishness. It's more like defending your limits, your spirit, and your sanity, because your sanity
Yeah,
can get in the way,
absolutely.
and you start toying with all these thoughts. Oh, nobody likes me. We start comparing ourselves to other
That's where we
people,
go wrong. I think that's so
and
sad.
that's what society has trained a lot of
Yeah.
things in this world, that we
Mm.
just we need to meet these standards. No, you establish the standards. You make the choice in your life. You decide what works for you. You decide what doesn't work for you, and you take the happy medium of being able to do the things that you already. And once you start seeing those little baby steps accomplished and meeting those goals, that's when you say, okay, I could do this. And you start developing that strength, and you start seeing how all these ingredients play in on your resilience, play in on your ability to bounce back, to overcome setbacks, and just keep going and keep going and keep growing. But it's a process that never ends, but it has to be applied.
Very well said. You're right. It has to be applied. And when we just keep on doing something for the sake
Mhm.
of pleasing others, I feel that's the time when we drain ourselves of the best within us, not realizing that we haven't used it for our own selves. I feel
Right.
many people do that. uh,
Yeah.
Humanitarianism is all very good, but if you start doing things for others, and if they start expecting that from you, and they don't really value that, they don't really value you as a person, they only value what you bring to the table for them as a person. And the moment you say that, you start setting your boundaries, those people will just say, okay, go your way, we go ours, we don't need you anymore. That time you feel hurt. But then who brought this upon them? Yourself. You yourself brought it upon yourself. And I think, as
That's
you
it.
said, we need to set those boundaries. This is resilience. I feel that, um, I know that you had this, you were on the wheelchair, and you almost thought that you probably won't be on your legs. But
Yeah.
now you look at you, you're actually a coach, you're a gym instructor as well,
As
and you're
personal
lifting,
training.
personal trainer, and you're lifting weights. And I remember once asking you to, show me how to do it. You're lifting weights, you're showing people how to lift weights to, to increase their metabolism, or to stay in shape, to feel healthy from within. So how did this resilience come in you that, I need to stand up, I need to make myself healthy, I need to feel fit and fine? How did you get the resilience to do that?
Well, this is where self-belief started playing a huge thing. I lost 70 pounds in 70 inches. Already, I was already way out of my comfort zone, daring to change, daring and putting myself and holding myself accountable. Martie, your health is important, your well-being. And then when I started exercising, yes, I have a spine stimulator. In fact, right now, I will tell you, I have a pinched nerve, but that doesn't stop me. That does not stop me. It just simply rearranges the furniture for me to get around. But
Wow.
the thing is, when you start doing exercise, those hormones, those happy hormones start coming into your body, and they take effect on you, and you start feeling more restful, more at peace. And so it's like, if you're doing exercise and you're building self-confidence from losing all that weight, what's going to be the next thing? You're going to go a little step further. Because of the pandemic and because of the job losses of all that happened, I said, I got to figure out something here. So I said, I'm moving, I'm out of the chair. Let me go with personal training. I'm older, and I think I could be a good example to other people. And sure enough, that's what took off with that. Now, I did pinch my nerve, and the old Martie before she discovered resilience would have said, it's over. I'm done. I can't be in camera. I'm in pain. You start making we are experts
Or
at making it.
you start talking to yourself and saying and convincing yourself that you cannot do it, whereas the
Exactly.
reality is totally something different, as you figured
Exactly.
out yourself. Yeah.
So you start making all these excuses, and we're experts at that. But then I said, okay, no, Martie, look at it a different way. And this is where I say, you like a photographer. Okay. So maybe you, it's time. And I realized it, because I'm not going to the gym now, I'm spending more time doing the things I love. But at the same time, I'm waiting on the diagnosis of everything, because I don't want to hurt myself. And this is something that I never cared about before. Yes, you're hurt. Well, see, my body's a mess. I can't do anything. Woe is me, and the sadness, flute and everything else happens. But no, we say, okay, this is temporary. This too shall pass. I will get through this.
Yeah.
Not the rate that I was going. It's a different way to do it. And so it's teaching me, it's reminding me that all that process that I went through is foolproof as long as I keep believing in myself, as long as I keep using the things that got me to the point where I'm like believing in myself more, and those baby goals. Okay, I'm up and my nerves hurt. My nerve hurts. I have a neurological condition that requires the spine stimulator. So I'm electronic in a way, and I have to charge myself once a month. But it doesn't matter because that little spark of energy is like now charging me to do something much more than what I expected my life to be. And so it's not slowing me down. It's simply rearranging my schedule and doing things the way that I need to do them to continue growing and working and helping other people realize that they too, even if you get knocked down, it doesn't matter. We can still pick ourselves up. We can't give up. That's the thing. Don't give up.
So, for holistic wellness, overall wellness of a person, resilience is something which is really very powerful. So, if you have the resilience, you can actually remain in control of your own power. You don't give your power away to someone because you know how to set healthy boundaries for yourself. But if I could ask you to summarize some tips for the sake of the people who would be watching this podcast so they understand how important resilience is for holistic wellness, perhaps it will become easier for them. And if we lay down the points, or maybe 4 or 5 points, number one, number two, number three, number four. So if you could do that,
Well,
yeah.
so first of all, we have a mind, we have a body, and we have a soul. If your mind is going that way and your body is over here doing nothing and your soul is confused, you're not going to have anything flow. Nothing is going to. So you have to listen to your heart. This is how I say it. Listen to your heart, because when you start second guessing things, your body all of a sudden is like, it already tells you, no, I'm not sure I want to go that route. So you have to be more in tune with you, your body, your mind, and your soul. If your mind is going racing 1,000 times a minute, it's probably because you haven't settled things in the past. Your emotions are all over the map. So it's going to block your vision of focusing on your goal. You can't remain focused if you keep having all these things swim in your head. So the first thing you have to do is dump that emotional luggage. Is it easy? No. Can you do it overnight? No. It took you the whole life to build it. So now you have to work on it as kind of like spring cleaning. Every now and then you see something repeat itself. Okay, I need to address this a little more. So a very helpful thing that helped me is, first of all, how do I think about myself? 5 adjectives, positive adjectives, because we're good at, oh, I can't this and I don't know that and I'm not that, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Okay, I am intelligent, I am strong, whatever comes up.
Affirmations.
Yes,
Yes.
and if you can't list them, you already know you have to work on that part. You have to
Yep.
work on you first. You can't be resilient if you don't work on you. So
Mm.
once you open up your mind and clear it, you have more clarity to do your goals.
Mm.
Even if it's just baby steps, even if it's scary, even if you're not sure, take that step. It's not going to kill you. It's only going to prove to you whether or not you can take the next step. And if you
Yeah.
can't take the next step, find another way, find another path, find help, something. So always be focused on what it is the next thing you want to do. And if you can't focus, then you got to clear all that out. So now I got my mind clear. I have a vision of where I want to be. My body's feeling good because I'm exercising. So now I start feeling more rest. I start feeling inner peace. I don't have all this
Absolutely.
stuff swimming in me. And you start growing. You start knowing when it is time to stop, take a
Stop.
look,
Yeah.
reassess the situation, because that's another thing. Whenever things are coming at us, bad things, what's the first thing we do? We want to run. We don't want to face it. We don't want to look at it. Nobody can tell me what I'm scared of. You just know, bad, no good. But if we don't face it, it's going to come back. And maybe it's not going to come back in the way you found it the first time, but it's going to keep repeating itself. So that's why we need to address our emotions. So never give up, address your emotions, and study how you feel about you. When you have that under control, you'll start seeing where these little speed bumps that get in the way of you traveling through your path get. And you'll overcome them, you'll go around them, you'll get help, you'll find a way. But if you don't have that first step of taking a look at yourself, your mind's not going to be right, your body's not going to be right, and your soul is going to be all over the map. So yeah, that's kind of like my go-to at first. It is a lot of work, and definitely I say that if you don't know how to do it, get help, get a mentor, take courses that teach you how to do it, read my book, get Dr. Alka to talk to you and beef your spirit up. But you have to have that person that says, take a look at you. Take a look at you. I can't tell you, I can't show you, I can't do it for you. That's where we assume responsibility for our actions, and you will see the beauty and the benefits of the consequences of taking that action and standing on your terms.
Absolutely. It's so important, because I feel that, Marty, what you just now said makes so much sense because it depends on us how people also perceive us in this world. So, be it in our own community, our society, our country, in the people that we interact with on a daily basis, it's the way we project ourselves. So, if we are always there like a fool waiting on someone without respecting ourselves, without like we said, without setting boundaries for ourselves, then we'll just completely lose it. Then people start taking you for granted. I think most of the times people make a mess of their life is when they start relying so heavily on others, you know,
Yeah.
on others. Like everything revolves around the other person's time, the other person's, space, or the other person, whether mood swings. So you have to go
Right.
by what the other person, even if you're working for someone, I feel you need to keep your boundaries. So there's a timing, there's a fixed working hour. So within those working hours, you can do whatever you're asked to do. But once 5 p.m., whatever part of the world, it's generally 5 p.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m., or 6 p.m., whatever time the office closes, the organization closes. Okay, goodbye. I'm off now. Now it's time for me and me alone. At that point, if you start, you know, with these little things, I think, the fact that you start saying that now my time begins after 6 p.m., that's the time you respect yourself, and others will also respect you. So if they have to give you any kind of paperwork, because these are problems that working professionals are
Everybody has.
facing,
Yeah.
especially in the corporates, and then they're all the time stressed, all the time they're feeling, that, oh my god, someone is they're so competitive in a very unhealthy way. And all this, I feel, comes because they don't know the art of resilience. They don't know how to build it up within themselves. Stop comparing. You're unique. Like you said, stop
That's
comparing.
it.
There's no point. See what you have within you. See your own power. Use it to your best. There are people out there, and it's so sad, Marty, that, they have so much of talent within them. But unfortunately, they're not able to use. And like you said, get that help. Read your books. Come and talk to me. Talk to both of us. But we need to motivate people positively. It's all about positive communication.
That's it.
Positive communication and resilience.
Mhm.
How would you talk about these two? Because they're connected.
Well, if I speak, oh, I can't this and I don't like that, and that you're already blinding yourself. You're already putting a shield up
Right.
that doesn't allow you to see the opportunity that maybe
Mhm.
even in bad times, like when bad things happen, there's
It's a
good
lesson.
opportunities, and something good always derives from something bad. Even at the
Yeah. It
beginning
may
you
not
look at
happen
it.
at that time, though. It may
No,
not
no.
happen at that
In
time.
retrospect, I now see
Yeah.
that all the things that I was like, oh my God, how this, my world is over, my life is through. No, no. And that's what shuts us into that negative mode. We put ourselves in like a jail. I say we enslave ourselves to the negativity. And then because we're responding with negativity, then that starts building up. And the more negativity we surround ourselves with, the less we see the reality of the situation, the
Right.
less we're able to find solutions. Because if you're too busy barraging all the negativity that you already are an expert at because you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to find an opportunity. You're never going to see the other side of the tunnel. You're never going to build trust in yourself to overcome the setback. So the most important thing I say is with resilience and self-assurance that, okay, this is happening. I assume responsibility. I can't depend on anyone. And I think a lot of relationships, I will tell you, I've been married 41 years, and the relationship is the same thing. If you don't know how to take care of yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't have those
Other
limits,
won't too.
then you're going to be always pleasing that person. And then when that one thing happens, it's all their fault. And we
Yeah.
start blaming the world, and we start just denouncing everything that was good at one time because we got into the negative mode. We started blocking the beauty of what a relationship could have developed had we not thought that way. So negativity is not good. No, no, no to negativity. And yes, yes, yes to believing that there's opportunities even when adversity happens.
Wow, those were golden words. Wow, absolutely marvelous, 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 marvelous. And I'm so happy, because happy for you, because I know how you've navigated your life so wonderfully well. You thought that you weren't an important person in your parents' life. You thought that then, there other things happened. You weren't allowed to do certain things, but yet you went ahead and did them because you believed in yourself. You wanted
Yes.
to fly, you wanted to be a pilot. So you were a pilot. You did do it. You wanted to play with machinery. So you did play with machinery. I think, once a person starts believing they can do the impossible, nothing
Exactly.
in this world is impossible. I mean, if you feel that you're going to go out there and maybe talk to the president of so and so country or the prime minister of so and so country, if you believe it, you're going to do it. So I guess,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about what you have within you. And this
That's
is
it.
something that you need to respect, nurture, believe in, and always be grateful for, because God has given this to you. And I feel many times people say that they're always complaining to God. They're saying, this person is like this and I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, I don't have A, I don't have B, I don't have C. They forget
But
to
what do
see.
you have? You have
Yeah,
life. You're alive. You're
yeah.
where. So
Yes, you
that's the
have two
difference.
eyes, beautiful eyes. You have a nose, you have a mouth, you have a face, a beautiful vision. I mean, people recognize you because of this beautiful vision of yours that is created. There's so many things, and there is that power in your heart, which you need to bring out, which you need, like you said, you need to bring it out. You need to handle a lot of things in life.
Yes.
Life, I feel, Marty, and I know you always say this, that life is beautiful, and we should not just come here and just waste it away. And like you said, you didn't want to waste it, even though you have to recharge there. I mean, sometimes you're on mode machinery, but that doesn't stop you from doing the things that you love doing. And I think
Right.
this is the spirit, this is what you're trying. This is actually holistic wellness. You're looking after yourself so well, and you're encouraging other people to do the same. That is why I wanted you to talk about resilience, because I know there's no better example, no better person than you, the resilience ambassador, who can talk about this. But yes, as a parting shot, if we have to say, encourage a person who's low, very low, down in the dumps, who feels that absolutely nothing can happen good for him or her, what would you say to this person to bring him up, to maybe get him onto the path of resilience?
And this was key for me. I counted my blessings. I
Mm,
counted my blessings and I made two lists. I say, this is the stuff that keeps repeating itself. But this was after long introspection. But I started seeing, I say, okay, Martie, you survived, you surpassed, you're alive, you're able, okay, you weren't able to continue the careers that you picked, but they taught you so much. They
yeah.
taught you to be, you know, able to find a way out of everything. They taught you to be, you're a mechanic, you help heal people that have cancer. So they, I think God, this is where I say that we're all a miracle and God teaches us along the way. Sometimes we listen and sometimes we totally oblivious to the fact that we got through something. But when you start looking and you count your blessings of everything that you have up until this day, and the number one thing is the miracle of life, because you're still alive, you're still breathing, be grateful. And once you're grateful, you'll start forgetting all these little things that keep popping up, and you'll find a way within you. You'll motivate yourself. You'll inspire yourself to find a solution of all these things that have built up in you. And once you do that, the next thing you know, you're just transforming yourself to those around you. And they're going to ask, what are you doing? What happened to you? What kind of surgery are you having? And what it is they resonate with that new, you know, spirit that you're forming, because it's kind of like you're alive again. You're actually living. You're not just existing. You're not going through the daily grind of I gotta go to work, I gotta go this, I gotta go that. No, I'm alive. I'm gonna go to work. Okay, work is not always in a perfect situation, but you're getting paid. You're benefiting from it. You're learning what not to do. You're learning who and all those around you, what triggers them, what makes them feel the way they are. And then you'll know how to be, you know, removing yourself from the situation before it happens. Because once you start paying attention to all that, you're like, not today, not today. We'll talk about it later. And you'll start protecting, you'll protect your spirit that way. So believe in yourself, know you are a miracle in this world, and God put you here for a reason and a purpose. Discover that, and you will be a happy camper till the day you die.
Lovely, so beautifully said, so powerfully said. And it just makes one feel once again, or it just sort of is so reassuring that yes, life is beautiful and I'm here on planet Earth for a purpose, and that's what I was always meant to do. It's only that I need to just work harder at it. I need to keep on growing myself in order to complete and fulfill my life purpose. But you said it so beautifully, and resilience is something that is so wonderful, because if one learns the art of bouncing back, no challenge in life can, be a huge setback. For setbacks will always be there, always, because sometimes you make these huge grandiose plans, but they don't just work, and they come shattering. Sometimes they just shatter completely. So instead of wallowing in self pity, if we infuse ourselves with resilience and just bounce back with confidence, saying that, okay, what is the lesson? Like you said, what is the lesson that I learned from this? Okay, this. So now, using this lesson, I need to reset my life again and start doing things which will lead me towards my life purpose. I know my caliber, I know what I'm worth, so I need to use that to, keep on going and not stopping, because we are unstoppable. I always say that, unstoppable, unique, unbeatable, beautiful souls, because we're here on planet Earth for a mission of spreading smiles, positivity. Because I think if a person does that, that person has all the goodness and all the richness of this beautiful planet. Material things are all very good. Okay, we also need them. But they'll
Mhm.
be useless without these things, without positivity, without understanding your self-worth, without knowing that you are a unique person within, and this is what you can bring to the table. This is what you can offer to planet Earth. All these things are useless otherwise. Relationships also become useless, like you said. First, know yourself. Respect
Mhm.
yourself if you want to be respected back. This is so beautiful, Marty. I cannot thank you enough. And we will keep on meeting for these classes. And let me tell you that we have started Les Graces Sociales, which is a kind of a finishing school. And Marty will be our resilience ambassador for that.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
yes,
Thank
Marty.
you.
Yes. So we
In
will have the wonderful Professor Marty with the resilience classes and how to handle yourself, how not to overreact to any kind of a situation, because like she said, heavens will not fall if something not so good happens in life, because it will happen. Not everything can be all hunky dory at all the times. We need to,
no.
life is not a bed of roses, like they said. Sometimes you'll get the thorns, and you'll feel the prick and the pinch, but that will only make you stronger. But how do you come out of it? How do you respond? How do you react to it? Is what
Mm,
makes you you, unique,
exactly.
unstoppable. Wow.
Something worth mentioning now that you've triggered my thoughts is the one thing I say, the one thing that also changed my mode of operating completely was, what do I want to leave behind? We can't, like you say, materials are not that you don't get buried with them. So that right there tells you that they're not something that you want to take with you. But when you get to the end of your destiny, your life, you're going to want a resume of all the goodness that you provided this world.
Karma.
Why? Because that is going to keep you from giving up on yourself. That is so I put in my focus, in my mind, I need to leave a legacy of hope. And that is my vitamin for my soul to keep going and
Going.
motivating other people to believe. But thank you, Alka, for having me. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, it's always lovely, because and now we're connected. We're connected from here as well, and I think these connections are always forever. And we may be many, many miles apart, but distance does not bother us. And we will keep on meeting like we met last year. So I think that is the beauty of a powerful soul connection. And the fact that I think we meet like-minded people uh, who share our vision as well. But of course, everybody has their unique style. Like you have your resilience as your uniqueness. I feel, but somewhere when we put all these unique qualities together,
It
we
is
have
unstoppable.
such a powerful, what do you call it? A powerful capsule, a powerful pill by which we can
A force
force,
of goodness
force.
and the
Yes,
ability to share and care for
yes.
each
And to
other,
change people, to transform
build
lives.
build each other up and together. And that's
Yes.
the thing, because I've had a lot of comments from the peanut gallery that, oh, look, oh, she's doing so good. And I'm like, I didn't come here by myself. I didn't get here by myself. I relied on my thoughts and my purpose and everything, but I also had the right people around me. So together is how you grow. Together is how you build, and goodness comes when it's reproduced all around you. And that's how you make the world a little better.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And now to everyone who watches the podcast, if in the comments you can tell us your name, which country you belong to, and even if it's one or two takeaways from what do you need to change about yourself to become more resilient? If you could just write that down, we would know that our podcast has made a difference in your lives. It may take a little while for you to get this podcast, but I'm sure if you need to hear something, you will come across this podcast, and we will be the happiest. Marty and I will be the happiest that you listened to it, that you wrote something in the comments. And yes, we will definitely be honoring you as well. and it will be Martie and me together honoring you. So, yes, please do mention it in the comments, whatever I just asked you to do, your name, your country, and your key takeaway points in terms of resilience. With that, stay tuned to Chilparko Podcast. We have a Father's Day special coming up, which is going to go live on Alka's Home of Education, our Facebook page. And yes, Martie will be there talking about her dad's anecdotes, and we will have more wonderful people join us. And do join us if you can, and it will be wonderful. And till then, take good care of yourselves. Stay happy, stay blessed. Hasta mañana till we meet again. Marty, do you know any Spanish song for bye-bye?
Cuando calienta el sol ahí en la playa. That's when the sun heats in the beach. That's just a impromptu. That's got nothing to do with goodbye. On
That
the
is
contrary.
beautiful. I love the spontaneous way which you started singing. I think that is you. That is so unique. You,
Oh, I
so
do have.
unstoppable you. Yeah,
Para
yeah.
bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia pa' mi patria. Y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bam, bam, bamba.
Oh, wow.
I did a karaoke competition right before I went for a knee surgery, and I was just going through the thing. I actually was one of the finals in there, and I competed for
Wow. See, this is what
the
resilience can do to you.
I
Wow.
competed in the state competition, and I actually got for a second place for karaoke, and I was like, I don't sing. But I had the crowd going, so and that's where you start discovering talents and
Talent.
treasures
Yes,
that you don't
yes.
even, like you say, you don't even know you have until you
Yeah,
become resilient. You'll start seeing what I'm talking about. But don't
absolutely.
ever give up on yourself.
The last parting shot, everyone. Don't ever give up on yourself. Remember that. Words you probably have heard 1,000 times, but not in this resilient manner. So, yes, coming from the resilient ambassador, Martie, thank you so much. Lovely having you, and we'll connect soon, pretty soon. Till then, take care of yourself, and all of you take care of yourselves as well. Stay
God
happy,
bless.
stay blessed. God bless all of you. Bye bye. Spread
Bye.
smile, spread happiness, spread sanguinity, spread cheer, and always try to encourage others to enhance their self worth. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Ciao.